Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. You know, we have not slept all night. We kept the candlelight vigil burning. And it is now 11 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good morning, Mr. Constantine Bogle. How are you, sir?
Great. I'm feeling great.
What a beautiful experience. Could you explain to the rest of the world what it was like at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning here?
Well, it was a feeling of great spiritual renewal. A feeling that I am at loss with words to really explain our feeling, but it's a great feeling, it's a great energy, a positive energy that we went throughout the night in Stony God. And we just want to give all praises unto the Almighty God for taking us through this experience, because without him this could never happen. So all praises unto the Creator, and we look forward to see how we can stage this an annual event yearly. So more people in St. Thomas, Jamaica and across the world will eventually start journeying into Stony God to have this experience yearly.
It was a wonderful experience. I'm telling you, I am lost for words. My voice, as you can hear, my voice is a total different voice than the voice that was started out last night. There was so much people here. There was so much candles lit. A pity the lighting wasn't so good so we could videotape everything, but we caught some on tape and we're willing to share it with the rest of the world. Now, I know we're going to have some breakfast, and after that, this is the 11th of October, 2012.
Yes.
Tell the rest of the world what is about to happen at about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, we are after breakfast. We'll be having breakfast shortly, and after breakfast, we start to get ready to leave Stony God at about 9 o'clock to march into Morant Bay. This is the candlelight vigil that Paul Bogle did in 1865, and the march that took place on the 11th. So we're looking to march down into Morant Bay and to be received by the mayor and ask her to read a message that we are hoping that will be shown this afternoon on television.
Yes.
We're looking for a great day. And if you notice Big Stone, we didn't have any rain, we didn't have any breeze this morning, but we had a nice little dew.
Yeah.
The Almighty presence.
At one time, with Brother Bogle. Brother Bogle, the chairman for Jatu, here in Barlow, Big Stone, real fall. But we know it was raining. We know it was just a dew, the heavy dew.
Just a light dew.
Yes.
That just keep everything into order.
Right now, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we can just imagine what Brother Paul Bogle was going through now.
Yes.
Getting ready to go. Now, in another 3 hours, in 1865, your great-great-grandfather entered Morant Bay.
Yeah.
Tell us what happened there.
Well, when he entered Morant Bay, as it is said, because back then, it's like nobody really count black people. So the vestry was meeting. The vestry, as it was called, was a parliament, was meeting, and Paul Bogle went down, wanted to present the plight of the people to the courthouse and the government. But because they didn't really count black people, they, hear them coming, singing and playing their music and coming in.
Because they were chanting, right?
Yes, and they figure that these people are coming to war, so they are the one that unleash gunshot, killing 7 of Paul Bogle men.
Immediately as they step into Morant Bay.
Yes, and that is what escalate the thing into war. It's not like they had left Stony God.
They got to kill some people.
That's what I'm
saying. Repeat that again. They didn't leave Stony God to go kill some people.
They never left Stony God to say they might go kill people. Paul Bogle wasn't any murderer or anything like that. But after the thing escalate, when Paul Bogle say after all this, then this is how it really played out in front of him. Total disregard for black people. So, Paul Bogle just end up, after just help take out the the leaders, the white man, them just overrun the parliament, kill everybody in that, and turn on light the fire. So today is a big historical day for Jamaica.
Yes.
And, you know, days like today, I mean, there's no way you could have countries like the European countries, the Americas, and the president make some mention of a day like today. You know, I really don't understand some of the things that is happening, you know, in terms of leadership. So, you know, and, you know, but now that we actually link up with the Marcus Garvey organization, and Dr. Julius Garvey will be speaking this morning on Jerry Show 93.7 at 9:15, will be giving us his blessing, you know, about the 23rd and the 24th and the whole operation, the 14th, we're going down into Sam Sharp Square and all of that. You know, I think maybe when people tends to want to listen more to PhD, so maybe they will listen to Dr. Garvey more than they will.
I know.
To me, so.
At the clock strike 6 o'clock yesterday, we had the honor of speaking to Dr. Julius Garvey, the second son of our first national hero, the Right Honorable Marcus Garvey. And you and him have met before.
Yes, we met.
Could you kind of share once again with the people? And then Dr. Garvey, you didn't know this, but on the 23rd, he will be coming on CVM at sunrise.
Yes.
Just to commemorate William Garden and Paul Bogle's murder. So that would be great. What was it like talking to Dr. Julius Garvey?
Well, it was a great feelings, because I met Dr. Garvey. It was only after I light the first 1,000 candles in year 2000. Because I started the memorial in 1999, but in 2000 we light the 1,000 candles, and then Prime Minister P.J. Patterson decided that he was going to give out scholarship in honor of the 7 national heroes and prime ministers, and he said he was searching for the closest person that he could find to represent each national hero, the closest person to each national hero. And I was chosen as the closest man on earth to Paul Bogle and asked to present a scholarship at King's House. And when I went in, I was the last person to arrive as guest, and I was seated beside this gentleman, and immediately as I sit down, him stretch over my man and shake me and says, Dr. Julius Garvey. And that's how we met. You know, give me his information and thing. But I never even take the thing so serious. So I don't even know what I did with it.
You didn't know what you did, but let me tell the world what you did. What you did was the fact that your great-great-grandfather, right? Your great-great-grandfather, the Right Honorable Excellency, Mr. Paul Bogle, is a national hero. Yeah. And so is Marcus Garvey. So you as a descendant of Paul Bogle and him as a descendant of Marcus Garvey make it a very historical occasion. Yes. Because both of you are descendants of national heroes.
Of greatness.
Of greatness. See?
Give thanks.
So, Brother Bogle, we know we have to go eat breakfast in a little bit. What are we going to have for breakfast?
Well,
I want to hope it's something that Paul Bogle had the morning.
We know for sure that some roast breadfruit involved, but I had left it to Gabby. I tell him that we want to make sure that breakfast prepared for some Rasta people, so I don't know exactly what is happening. I think we'll have some greens and some breadfruit and some things, but banana for sure, because this is St. Thomas.
Based on what your father told you, your father and your grandfather tell you about Paul Bogle, what kind of person was he in terms of, you know, his demeanor, and was he a quiet person?
A very humble person, you know. I am not as humble as Paul Bogle. I am a more rebellious kid than Paul Bogle, but Paul Bogle was a very humble person. Moses Bogle, Paul Bogle brother, was a more serious person than Paul Bogle. Plenty of people don't know that. Moses was a man who don't put up with rubbish. He quick to get to you if you're playing, you know. And plenty of people don't know that Moses Bogle was a rich guy. You know, Paul Bogle had a lot of brothers. Some says is 5, some says 7 brothers of them.
So do you think any grandson of Paul Bogle is alive today?
Yes.
As close as a grandson, you know?
No, well, you would not. I don't know of any grandson that is alive. You know, but
we're talking about 147 years ago.
Yes,
so.
we don't. I don't know of any grandson that is alive, but you know, you have like great grand and great grand that is alive. But you know, Morant Bay rebellion really destroyed the Bogle family, and it's just since it's not something that the family even discuss easily, you know. But it's just since I stepped forward, you know, since 1999 and start to deal with the memorial and come out and make speeches, and since, you know, Deacon Ranitweet came on board and a number of people start coming out and explaining Morant Bay rebellion.
But you know something, Brother Bogle, you said it destroyed the Bogle name, and I can agree with you in some point. But if Jamaica was a different country, what your ancestors did to free our people should be revered. There should be television cameras all over the place, and people from all over the world would love to have an interest. So we would only hope that you take up the mantle to make this holy land of Stony Gut, where your great-great-grandfather walked and died. He left from here to his death. Because when he went to Morant Bay, he didn't come back to Stony Gut at no time at all, right?
No. Well, yes, he came back to Stony Gut.
He came back to Stony Gut, yes, after the rebellion?
Yes. After the killing, he came back to Stony Gut and hold another prayer.
Another vigil prayer?
This one was not vigil, but he held a prayer. And he told his people what was now coming. Then he says, we were now at war. They are going to come and
so William Garden, what happened? How did William Garden, because in history, the history books are saying that the two of them were hung because they're instigators. Alright? William Garden was taken from Kingston aboard a ship, and he was hung out there on the waters. How did he get involved at that time? I know they were great friends.
Well, not only that they were friends, but they owned property line and line.
Oh.
So Paul Bogle and Garden was good friend. And because Paul Bogle was the man in the East, he was the person who went around and organized vote for George William Garden. Because remember, you had to own, in those days, in order to vote, you have to be a landowner and paying certain amount in tax. So Paul Bogle knew the people
that were paying taxes
that own land, and he was go around and organize them and get them to vote. So Paul Bogle is really the person responsible for getting William Garden elected. So they were very close friends, and William Garden is the person that responsible for ordaining Paul Bogle and turning him into a deacon.
Oh, okay,
So because of that relationship,
that's another piece of history that the world didn't know.
Yes, William Garden is the person that turned Paul Bogle into a deacon. So because of that relationship with William Garden, when the riot took place, or the uprising, or what you want to call it, they immediately tied William Garden to it. William Garden told them, there's a famous letter that William Garden wrote when they told him that they were going to hang him. He wrote this letter. He asked for time to write the letter, and he wrote a famous letter saying that, not having anything to do with Morant Bay rebellion, I wasn't expecting to be disposed of in this manner. On the very same day that they hung William Garden, they catch Paul Bogle. When they asked Paul Bogle, did William Garden have anything to do with this? Paul Bogle said no. They realized that they hung an innocent man. Paul Bogle said, William Garden have nothing to do with it. This was not something that was planned. It never discussed with William Garden. Paul Bogle, is responsible. Paul Bogle took full responsibility for his action.
Yes.
Walk with them straight down to Morant Bay and straight to the gallows. He never begged pardon.
He didn't beg for his life.
He never begged for him life.
Yes.
He never begged for him life. He know said them are going to kill him. And them say he walked very calmly. He was very calm. Walk with them, no problem, and just walk right in to to death without any fear. Him just do him have to do. You understand?
Yes.
See? And him tell them everything. So it was no, so this whole thing, the parliament was now named after George William Gordon simply because George William Gordon was a legislator. And them an innocent legislator, so them named the parliament.
That's to make up now for the atonement of what they did.
So now that we are saying that the government should light candles in the parliament in honor of the person that the parliament was named after on the day that this George William Gordon died,
which is October 23rd.
But the sad thing about all that we are doing is that we are here working our butts off, trying to establish something that will be beneficial to generation and generation and generation to come. The people, the same black people in government, in television news, even though some of them every now and then accommodate us and give us a couple of minutes to talk on their programs, how much of this was captured by any television audience? Not one news media came out here for a historic event like this.
Yeah.
Right? So these are the things that we have to look at and know that something is seriously wrong with the minds of those that we put to lead us. And that is why I have to say that in my book, education is not the number one thing for the black man. And that is one of the most misleading things. Spirituality is the biggest asset for the black man. So, and if a person, you can be sick spiritually, and you can be sick physically, So if you take a person that is sick spiritually, but was able to acquire education, and you put him out there for lead, whether it be an institution or whatever, you get no result. Because spiritually, him sick, he or she is limited, in them thinking. So, I mean, that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Brother Vogel, I really give thanks. I know we're getting hungry now.
Yeah, we have to go eat some
food. And we've been
food.
talking, we have to eat some food. So, we pick this up later and, the march continues. And we see you at the march, sir.
All right, take it easy.
Thank you very much.
Cool.